What's up, you guys? It is Jack, back filming another video for you guys. So, I'm finally making another Storytime video. People always demand Storytime videos. They're like, Jack, where are the Storytime videos? And I'm just like, I don't know. Like, I don't, like, sometimes I'm not, like, super inspired to make Storytime videos, but let me explain why I'm making this video really quick. I have been working out the past few days. Did you notice? Probably not. But anyway, I've been working out, and recently I was working out with my brother and my friend, and Thank You Next by Ariana Grande came on the radio, and I was being like a jackass, and my brother has like a string of ex-girlfriends. I don't know why I was doing this, but I was like, hey, are you so grateful for like Alyssa and Aaron and blah, blah, blah? And then my friend looked at me and was like, well, are you grateful for? And then they said the name of the person this video is about, and I was like, I audibly, I don't know if I audibly gasped, my brain audibly gasped, and I was like, oh my god, like, I put out, but I couldn't take it. I was like, I'm soft, I'm sorry, I'm sensitive. Anyway, I'm finally making this video. This is the same relationship that resulted in me being a bitch and, like, kind of crying, but not real. I'm embarrassed. In conclusion. But this is the story that resulted in this, so it clearly was not a happy ending. I never really went into detail about this dating experience, but anyway, yeah, if you're interested in hearing the story about Jack Merridew, the person who creates videos like this, dating the pastor's son, then stick around and we're gonna get right into it, guys. Okay, you guys, so this story begins at my previously favorite gay bar. Now when I see it, I'm like, oh, can someone just burn that place to the ground? But yeah, last year I went out a lot more. I went out to the bars. I was more part of like the nightlife scene. I remember one time that I went out, I met this guy who was the bartender at the bar. And believe me, you guys, I'm not the type of guy that walks up and starts flirting with the bartender. But anyway, yeah, for whatever reason that night, I started talking to the bartender and we ended up exchanging Instagram handles. I went home. I know I was hungover the next day. I get hungover over everything. So I was like in a cocoon of like misery the next day. And also, I don't know, I didn't message him, he didn't message me. I think it was one of those things where do you ever like have a really good drunk conversation with somebody and then when you finally sober up, you're like, oh, like what did we talk about? I don't know, that's just kind of what it felt like. But I'm a sucker for mama's boys and people who are nice to their moms. And a few weeks later, I saw he uploaded an Instagram story of him like surprising his mom on Mother's Day and I was like, oh. Like the feels. So I did slide into his DMs and I was just like, oh, that's really cute how you surprised your mom for Mother's Day. And I really didn't expect anything out of him just because he's a bartender, he's shirtless all the time. And also I thought he was a little bit out of my league. I'm a confident person, but I felt like he was out of my league. So I was surprised when he answered and we started talking and it was like a good conversation. Like it was the opposite of every conversation I've ever had on Grindr. We ended up FaceTiming one night for like 5 hours and then we decided to hang out the next day. He wanted to go hiking. I didn't know if it was a date. I didn't know if he wanted to just like network. A lot of people in the industry, whether it's acting, music, anything like that, they're just looking to schmooze people for like followers and stuff like that. So I didn't know if that's what he wanted or anything like that. I also didn't know if he wanted to go hiking. I didn't know if he wanted like a gym buddy or a friend or something like that. Granted, I don't scream gym buddy, so that was the least likely scenario. I ended up going to his apartment and then we drove to a mountain and climbed it. On top of the mountain, we had a conversation. It was like kind of like a deep conversation about religion. He said he was the pastor's son. I hadn't known that really before. And I really don't care what your religion is. And I don't mean that from an apathetic sense. I just mean it from like, it's not my business. Whatever you believe is between you and whatever you believe in. And after that conversation, we went back down the mountain and we got Chinese food and then the date ended, okay? I went home and the second I got home, he had texted me being like, that was really fun. Like, that was a really good date. Let's plan another. And then he said, like, something along the lines of, like, apparently we brushed skin at some point on the hike. And he said he felt electricity course through him. I don't even remember brushing skin. So I didn't feel electricity. It's not that, I feel like I'm not that type of person. I did like him, though, and I took that as a good sign. I was like, okay, that was a date. a date we went on. And while we were planning date number 2, he told me, he like confessed to me that he knew who I was before we exchanged Instagrams at the bar because he used to follow me and watched my videos back in the day. The only reason I'm including this snippet, this fact into this story is because I know all of you guys are probably sitting there thinking, wow, the pastor's son, what's he gonna say when Jack reveals his not pastory YouTube channel? That was a weird way to put that. But anyway, he already knew it existed. It wasn't like I was one day like, oh, what's behind door number 1? Open it! Oh, look, I'm a whore! Like, it's not like I revealed it in a dramatic way. He knew from the beginning that I had a YouTube channel and he knew the content on it. So we eventually went on a second date. We saw a movie and we went to, I think it was Little Tokyo. It was I literally blocked this out of my mind. I don't mean to say, like, it was either Koreatown or like Little Tokyo or something. And honestly, date 2 was going well. And at this point in time, I had a new fear instilled in me because this was right around the time when I was planning the chapstick challenge with an ex-Tinder date. Does anyone remember this video? I was preparing to make this video, okay? I had ordered the chapsticks. I needed them like express delivered. I had gone through like 3 ex-Tinder dates to finally find someone who would be in the video. I had planned a time, everything to film this video. And as I sat there on date number 2, I was like, fuck. I really like this guy that I'm on this date with right now, and I don't want him to log onto YouTube one day and wow, there's Jack licking tongues with somebody else. So on date number 2, I said to the guy I was dating, I was like, hey, I have a chapstick challenge planned out. I know it might be weird for you to see me kiss another guy. I will gladly do the video with you, okay? If you want to be in the video, I can tag your socials, I can promote you on social media. If you don't want to be in the video, fine, no hard feelings. And he responded with, oh yeah, it's not really my thing. I don't want to be on YouTube like that, but go ahead and do it. And I was like, okay, but I really want to double check. If you will feel uncomfortable with me doing that and posting a video like that, I will not make it. He was like, no, like I totally get it. Go ahead and make the video. So I was like, okay, I'll make the video. So anyway, date number 2 ended. We started planning date number 3. He was like, oh, we should have like a sleepover. We can watch movies, you can spend the night, and then yeah, it'll just be a fun day. So I was like, okay, went over to his place. Anyway, I'm not gonna go into detail about exactly what happened because I don't think it's really necessary. All that I'm gonna say is everything that happened, whether it was kissing, anything, cuddling, it was all initiated by him. So yeah, that was date number 3, and I left and things got a little bit weird. I remember like the number 1 sign that something was wrong was the fact that we always said goodnight to each other. Every single night for like a month straight, it was like going to bed, good night, hope you sleep well, and then randomly I heard nothing one night, and then the next morning he didn't even text me back. So I was like, oh, that's a little bit weird. And I remember like I said something about like, oh, SOS, like it was something. My air condition like blew up. My air conditioner wasn't working. It didn't blow up. But anyway, it wasn't working, and I remember like I was just like shooting the shit with him, and I was just like, ah, SOS, like I'm sweating to death over here. And I remember he responded with, then stop complaining and just get a new air conditioner. And I was like, oh, like, newsflash, like, this is what you do in a relationship. Like, you complain sometimes. You, like, shoot the shit, you complain, you talk about nonsense, like, I'm sorry I didn't send you a Shakespearean sonnet that day. I sent you a complaint about an air conditioner. My bad. Get used to it. That's all I do is complain. Anyway, when I read that, I was like, something is amiss here. Like, I just knew, I can read people very well. I knew something was wrong, and, my gay mind, so powerful. But yeah, I knew something was wrong, so I just decided to give him some space. I'm not the type of person that, like, claws in deeper. Besides, I had to make my chapstick challenge. The people were demanding it, except no one even knew it was coming. But anyway, I had my riveting chapstick challenge to film. So one day I filmed that, then the following day I edited it, and while I was editing it, I was on and off texting the guy that I was dating, and he was still being a little bit weird, and then I finally dropped my chapstick challenge, released it to critical acclaim from the critics. Everyone loved it, except one person. One person really didn't like it, because within 24 hours of me posting that chapstick challenge, I got a nice text from the boy I was dating saying, you know, I think we make better friends. And I was like, what frustrated me about it was, you guys, he literally went from being like, he would text me out of the blue to watch my videos because he was like, I'm watching your videos because I want to hear your cute voice and see your cute face. All this, like, all the random FaceTimes where he would FaceTime me in the middle of the day to see what I was doing, and he would text me nonstop, and he was like, oh, when I touched you, I'm being electrocuted, like, I'm in an electric chair. Like, he was just like, everything about him was just like so initiating the kissing, the cuddling, I want to hold you. It was just so bizarre how it went from all in to suddenly friends, yay! Like, I was like, what? It was just really unexpected. And you guys, I might be crazy, but I'm predictable, okay? I'm like a tornado. Like, I might destroy your whole damn village, but you see me coming from like a mile away. This guy was like unpredictable, where like an earthquake, no warning. One thing I'm gonna say really quickly, this is like a tip for you guys. If a guy says he doesn't want to pursue you anymore, bye. Don't try to seek closure. Every single time that I have ever set out to get closure from a guy, and I understand it's natural to want closure, every single time I've been left with like trying to like decode hieroglyphs. Like, it's just like none of it makes any sense. It just draws it out. But at the time I was like, can we just talk this out? So I called him and we started talking, and initially he was like, I think we're better friends because I need to focus more on my work and my career and stuff like that. But then he had an awful lot of negative things to say about me and my YouTube channel, which the first thing he said was, and I saw you uploaded the chapstick challenge and I didn't even watch it because I can't date a guy who's kissing other guys. And I was like, fair. First of all, fair. Like, I get that. But I literally went out of my way to ask you. I offered to change what I had planned for the longest time to accommodate your feelings. What? And it's just like, it fascinates me because guys, I go on 2 dates with a guy and they expect like an overhaul of my channel. They expect their content to be 100% different and me to be like, well, I went on 2 dates with this guy, so therefore I'm just gonna post completely new videos. Like, check out my new video, Storytime. I'm a nun. Like, and it's not, but Storytime, my christening. And it's not plausible. It's not practical. Additionally, he went on to further say, and I'm not making this up. I'm not exaggerating. These are almost like verbatim quotes because they haunted me for a very long time. He said, and I just don't like the content that you make. If I had the platform you did, I wouldn't upload the videos that you do. He then described my videos as not what the gay community needs right now. And then additionally he said, and I will never forget this, it's like emblazoned in my mind. He said he's just not looking for a guy like me. He's looking for somebody who inspires him and somebody who changes the world. And you guys, I'm not the type of person who's like, my videos change the world, I'm helping so many people, if this video helps just one person, like, I'm not like that. I'll be the first to make fun of my videos, I'll be the first to like talk them down. But at the end of the day, I don't think they're negatively impacting the world. I don't know, just to hear from somebody that you admire that you're not good enough for them because they're looking for somebody who's changing the world, which is not what I'm doing, it was just like, I don't know, it was just all around disappointing. In every way that a situation can be disappointing. And you guys, I try to be like an incredibly accepting person of everything. What disappointed me most about the whole entire thing was I accepted him and I feel like I don't know, I didn't get accepted back. A perfect example is just like, he worked at a bar and he was shirtless and like kind of like using his body sexually to sell alcohol. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it, but I don't know, it's just not the most ideal situation. That being said though, I never judged him for doing it, and I never failed to see him as a person beyond what he did for a living. And I feel like I didn't get that same respect back. And just really quickly in closing, I need to remember this when dating, and I think it's a good thing to remind other people. There was something that my mom said to my brother once that stuck with me. I don't know why it stuck with me, it just did. But I had this friend, and she was 2 years younger than my brother, and she was like in my friend group, and whenever my friend group would come over to my house, she would always try to hang around my brother, whether it was like playing video games or just like sitting there talking. And she really liked him, and he never really gave her the time of day. And I remember my mom said to my brother one day, she was like, what are you doing? Like, you have a girl literally showing up at your front door to spend time with you, not the guy down the street, you, because she values you, and you're just throwing it all away. And that just stuck with me because, you guys, I think like this world, like even like go on Grindr, go on Tinder, it's like people are so apathetic, and people are selfish, and people won't put you first. And when you want to go like hang out with somebody, they'll be like, oh, I have to drive 20 minutes to get to you. Like, I don't know, like people are just fucking lazy. It's just the way it is. And like finding a connection's really hard, and finding somebody who finds beauty in you and willing to make sacrifices for you, that is incredibly valuable, because you're not gonna get that from 95% of the human population. If you're gay, 99.8, you know what I mean? So when I'm thinking about this guy, he was a pretty plain Jane looking person. He was not by any means the most universally handsome guy, but when I was talking to him, I even remember thinking to myself, I was like, he's probably one of the most gorgeous people I've ever talked to or seen. You know, I just thought, I don't know, there was just something about him that I found absolutely stunning. And I want somebody to think that way about me, and I hope when somebody does, I don't throw it away for some dumb reason. I'm not saying he threw it away for some dumb reason, that's not what I'm saying, but I don't know, there's something so valuable about being valued. And I think that's not on the list of things that people look for. Like, people are oftentimes like, I want a guy who makes me laugh, and I want a guy who's cute, and like, no one's like, I want a guy who's gonna look at me and think I'm the most beautiful person in the world. Like, and that sounds weird to say, but it's true. That's something that you should really think about before you give up on something or let it go, because, and this may sound cynical of me, you may never find it again. Dating is just crazy, but anyway, that's all for this video, guys. Comment below with your thoughts, give this video a thumbs up if you like it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you liked the Storytime video. It probably wasn't the most funny Storytime video, but I don't know, it was a Storytime video. A story was told in a time frame. There you have it. Now you can get off my back and not demand one of these for a very long time. But anyway, I love you guys so much, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys.